Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. What's going on, guys? Shorty's back from Easter Monday football, and bear with me, I've been slightly under the weather, so the voice is not holding up super well. Probably roaring at the footy didn't help me today either, but gee, crazy old game. Half time I'm thinking, geez, are we shit now? Like, are the Cats cooked? Like, is it all over? Like, we'll be an okay team at times, but are we like a shadow of ourselves? And then boom, that third quarter and then second half in general was absolutely nuts. Holy shit, I was going off. I was probably going off more in the second quarter because I was so pissed off with the way they were playing. But yeah, the third quarter was an absolute dream. Always nice to get one over those Hawks, mate. Always good to get one over them. Shout out to Kaylin as well. Came up and said g'day to me. Loves the channel, so I really appreciate the support, mate. We were actually sitting in the same row, so it was kind of cool. Saw a couple other guys floating around there as well. I gave the old shout out to Shorty floating around the ground. So always love it when you guys say g'day. Certainly pumps my tyres up, and it's always nice to be like, shit, that's cool. You know, people really enjoy the content, and I really appreciate it. So thanks to those guys who said g'day. And also was pondering today. So I got my membership card in the mail today, or last week or whatever. I'd love to hear out there your preference, because obviously through COVID, we got the old digital, membership QR code sort of deal. I'm not really a fan of that. Kind of pisses me off. I just like to have the membership card, and I like having the card itself too. There's just something about it. Like you see who's on the front. It's just a good thing to have, particularly, if you had to have a good year. I know like people get them framed and that type of thing. So. Would love to know, are you a QR sort of download your membership sort of operator? Or are you, no, old school, give me the card, go through. Tell you what, there's nothing more panicking than going up to those little checkouts where you get through the gate and you're waving your thing around, you're zooming in, you're zooming out, you're like, shit, this thing ain't telling me to go through yet, fuck. And then the instructor lady's like, oh, you need a hand there? No, don't worry, mate. And the other day, Dad could not get it going. I swear, he had to wait off to the side and take a different size screenshot. Oh, man, absolute panic. Dad hates the QR codes. He's one from the old school, but yeah, absolute panic when you can't get that barcode to give you a little boop and get straight through the gates. Panic stations. But let's talk a little bit of SuperCoach. And it was a good week. I must admit, I think I made a couple of mistakes, which I'll talk about. But hey, whenever you move up in the ranks, it's a good week, and I'm sitting just inside the top 6,000, which I'm stoked about. So, I think let's take a look at the team. Really happy, but I do feel I butchered the captaincy a little bit. But then again, it is what it is. I'm happy with the call, but sometimes it doesn't work out. I didn't butcher it. Okay, shit. See, this is what's so difficult. I didn't check Clayton Oliver's score, but looking at all the media outlets and stuff, it was like Clayton Oliver had one of the games for the ages, and without seeing it, I thought, oh fuck, he scored 150. SuperCoach scoring is weird sometimes. I mean, I watched that Essendon Giants game. I know Tom Green didn't use the ball beautifully, but fuck, if that was only a 99, then I don't know what I'm looking at sometimes. Yeah, and even Bontempelli, I guess he didn't, I don't know. Sometimes guys just get 160 and you're like, I don't know. See, put it this way. I watched that game. Will Setterfield scored 87. Tom Green scored 99. If you're telling me there's a 12-point difference in their games, then I have lost the plot. Like, look at this. 12 tackles, 25 touches, 11 clearances. Only the 4 clangers. I don't know. It's hard. I mean, I guess it was a bit more than his AFL fantasy. Sometimes a bit of a guide. I don't know. But hey, you never sneeze at a 122 for your captain. And Nick Dacos, man, he's in now VC territory. I need to start thinking about him. I really thought his max would be sort of 120s with the odd 140, 150. I thought, maybe not. He's already had such a good start. Surely he gets a bit of attention, but he was electric. Bit harsh, those. Oh, Jesus. See, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, shit. Get Shorty a water. Holy fuck. That's embarrassing. It's real like in me chest, mate. Not good at all. Thought it was a little bit harsh, the criticism coming Dacos' way with him pulling out of the contest with Wilmot. Yeah, that's probably not the best moment he's had out in the footy field, but he'll get better with that. He's just a young man, and holy shit. If that's our takeaway from the game, I listened to the radio the next day. I text in on SEN. I was like, come on. Outstanding player, probably the best field kick in the game at the moment. But Sam Docherty, mate, you're gone, bro. You are gone. I was happy to just kind of go about my business and say, I think it's a bit harsh. You had 39 touches. Okay, it didn't correlate to SuperCoach, but you played a good game. He played a stinker on Good Friday. And not just even him himself, he fumbled, but dropped marks. But the role was just awful. You had Sard and Newman just cruising around, particularly Sard. But Docherty was just always watching it, I was like, he's always half on. Like if you need, not quite. Like he's always just kind of in between. It was a really frustrating watch. Sometimes they move him in the midfield, then he's sort of just outside the stoppage, or I don't know. But I think he's got to go. And at 5:25, I'm thinking Bailey Dale and Jack Sinclair are guys that I will need in my team pretty soon. I think there are a couple of guys at nice prices, and I reckon they're premium top 8 sort of options. So that's just a bit of more thoughts on that. But very disappointing, those crossroads moments when you go Docherty over Jordan Dawson. But it is what it is. I can't beat myself up over that because I never actually considered Dawson, really. So Jimby wasn't his best day. Had a bit of a roll on Oliver, a few tackles and whatnot, but didn't quite have the influence he did previously. But a good learning curve for the lad. It's a bit of a pity he scored 40 because that does really hurt the old cash flow. But still has that 100 in his mix from last week. McKenna, really, really nice. He's always got the ability to score 80 plus. Plays a really nice role. Jones has to go as well. Not necessarily go this week, but probably I'm thinking down back. I think Docherty could go to Dale. And then maybe Hopper could go down to a rookie. And then Jones could go up to Sinclair is sort of what I think. And Michael Laney, holy shit. So I watched this game on replay. Sometimes I like to just, if I'm watching a player or two specifically, just get the old KO out and just get my button, get me finger on the old right-hand button there and just bang, 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 just 15 seconds at a time. Particularly Michael Laney, really focused in on him that game. So every time it's down back for the Crows, watch it a bit closer. Yeah, it helps you sift through the games a little bit quicker. So I went full footy nerd mode there, and man, I didn't have to wait long because he was intercept marking early, just plucking him off like a veteran. It was really impressive. So he is going to make some serious cash, and he's a bit of a point of difference. I know when I first selected him, I think he was in about 4% of teams. I'm not sure where he's at now, but that's really tasty. Wilmot good, and Lockie Cowan, I feel like he has scored 51 like every fucking time he stepped out in the field. I mean, this man is consistent. How many times? The last 3. That's nuts. Yeah, that's crazy as. But there you go. Making some solid but slow cash there on the bench. Oliver, Bontempelli, really, really good. Again, I thought they maybe played 140-plus games, but it is still pretty handy score. Luke Davies-Uniacke, first half in particular, was outstanding, and he's a fantastic player. He's going to be great to watch. Tom Green, like I said, still a really nice average overall, but since round 1 hasn't really exploded, so I'm expecting him to do that pretty soon. Setterfield just tackles real hard, gets a lot of holding the balls, and look, he was really good. Continuing to make some really nice cash. Hopper, again, wasn't his most effective game, particularly early. Again, I sort of skipped through this one. He looked okay without being great. Ashcroft, a solid game. Again, plenty of cash to be made. Mackenzie got busy late. It was pretty hard to tell how he was going at the ground, but yeah, again, it's just, you're not critical of them because they're young fellas, but it just is a little frustrating when you just see that cash flow just stem a smidgen. But Baker, again, similar vein of thought there. Will Phillips, I thought was really good. Busted out a few of those points late. He had a really nice last quarter in there, and I'm just hoping that he can, because I feel like he can average 70 for sure. It's just a matter of him staying in that team. I just hope he can stay in the side when, in the month, because I really think he can get well over 300k or at least 320, 330. So some positive scenes there for the young fella. In terms of these rucks, I feel like I say the same thing every time. I mean, English is just in ridiculous form and it has to come into my considerations for VC. I don't know what I'm doing, mate. I barely consider him. I'm always talking about Bontempelli, but this bloke is right in front of me, averaging 140, mate. Ridiculous. So he is an outstanding form. Rowan Marshall, when you see Jared Witts go out of the team late, you're probably expecting more than a 96. And just looking at the stats, I feel like he had a fair bit of the ball. But a few people getting panicked on Marshall. I'm sticking super strong. I know I said similar with Docherty, but Docherty's role is a little bit different than maybe we anticipated. Yeah, it's a pretty solid game, really. But just, yeah. So I've still got a lot of confidence in Marshall averaging 105. So, yeah, I'm sticking right by him. He does take on Collingwood this week, and we know the struggles they have with their ruck, so maybe this could be the one. And Dunkley, like, as you see, I VC'd him. He just is not quite... I think I'm living in the past there. I think he's going to be a really solid, like, averaging player, but I don't know whether that ceiling, that real big-time ceiling that we've seen from Dunkley, I don't know whether it's there. I think he's just Mr. Consistent at the moment. So, but he was okay without being great. Taranto, really good game. I mean, I think he's copped a bit of criticism outside of sort of SuperCoach world with the way he uses the ball, but in terms of SuperCoach, he is an absolute dream. He's really just doing things super nicely. Connor Rosie, I thought again, probably was going to score less, so I guess it swings him roundabout. Some blokes you think are going to score more. And then just looking at the stats, I thought he'd be a bit worse off, 20 touches. With it, when you don't see the game, you sort of go, oh shit, hopefully he was effective and damaging, but to get 84 is pretty solid. Same said for Goulden, really good. Zeeble was sort of the other way, gave away a 50, -8 or whatever it is, and I thought he had a lot of the ball. Thought he could have notched the 3 figures, but you don't sneeze at a 92. And then Sheasel is just in ridiculous form, like just ridiculous. So he's going really, really well. Going to make so much coin. At some stage he'll drop off. But whenever he does, we'll just sideways trade him, and it'll be a dream. So Van Rooyen again was not quite to his round or his debut best, but still 53. You can work with that. And Davey does some nice things, but obviously is more of an impact player. Went off late, so hopefully not too much damage there. But yeah, I think a couple of blokes that I'll definitely be considering, like Cornelio. I know he's not playing too well, but man, he's going to be under 500k. Absolutely jump all over that. I think Andy Brayshaw as well is at a nice price, 560. Hasn't quite hit his straps, but was definitely better on the weekend. Where's Laird priced at? He's just dropped a smidgen, still fucking expensive. Trying to think. I mentioned a couple down back with like Sinclair and Dale. Watching the game today, I felt like Sicily was pretty damn quiet, particularly late. I mean, obviously he got towed up by Cameron and was on, had his hands full there. Had a bit of ball early. Yeah. So, I mean, he's such an effective bastard with his intercept work, but 14 touches for a 76. That puts him in the let's try and grab him in 2 to 3 to 4 weeks as well. So he should be around 550, 560 in 3 to 4 weeks, which is handy. So I might just go through my leagues as well, see if we've got some dubs here. Looks like we did. Got 9 dubs. Gotta love that. Content creators. I'm second there. Let's have a look at this A-team league. Oh, that was the only one I lost by 2 points. Oh my god, that's brutal. Oh, damn, we slipped. I think we were second overall last week. Slipped down a bit. Unless it was this league. Nah, wasn't that one. Yeah, had a comfy little win here. Over Smudge's Soldiers. The Sheriff. Oh, got home in a tight one there, mate. Shorty SuperCoach number 2. In the third one, oh, jeez. Wingardium Leviosa, mate. I pumped you. Absolutely pumped you. Guns and Rosie, good name, and I just edged you out there with an 11-point dub. That's brutal. Another close one there over I'm Horny Friends. That's a good name. Oh, that's in the Warm Ponds crew. Who's that? Who's that? Oh, Aiden's doing nice. Oh, it's Ben. Yeah, it makes sense. Who's struggling here? Luke. Don't know if we know Luke, or do we? How many in this league are actually Wampon's crew? It's always hard to tell. Jesus, sorry. It's always hard when you have a league and it's like we get 8 out of the 10 people, then it just gets filled with randoms. Big Kitty. Got easy W there. Oh, I don't know what's going on in this league. 1877. Taking the piss there, mate. I don't know what's happening there. And then the comfortable victory there in bragging rights, which I'm really keen to do well in bragging rights. Obviously, I have a financial interest in that one. But also, it's got real good community feel about that. And I would really like to do well. Always interesting to see, like, you kind of think you're miles off the top. I'm not trying to say I'm going to win the 50K, but like 190 points, top 1,000. So it's, there's not too much between the top 1,000 and the top 6,000. So at this early stage, there's still, have a couple of good rounds, you can really make up a bit. Excuse me. But, yeah, I might wrap it up there, try and get this one out. I'll probably try and post it on the Facebook page, AFL SuperCoach 360. They're a great page. I've mentioned them on my live sessions a couple of times. But if you want some good content, good SuperCoach community, then they're an awesome option. Also, if you don't know already, I did a few tweets in terms of same game multi, if people are interested on that. And obviously my TikTok, been getting some decent love on that, which is great. So if you're that way inclined, it's not everyone's cup of tea. But yeah, always review me around and do my trades on the Thursday or Friday. So something to float your boat there if that takes your fancy. But yeah, I better get cracking on this one. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again for all the support, and I'll chat to you probably on Wednesday. Let's go live on Wednesday. Cheers, guys.